Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to my first impressions of the first DLC here in World War II. The gameplay behind you are seeing is from a live stream I did on the first day that this DLC was live, so enjoy that. And I apologize for the 720p quality.
All of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but I really like this map. Peace, peace, and butt grease. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. I don't know. He's right there. Oh! Let's go, boy! Come on, come on. I died? He naded me.
Occupation, the Resistance remake from Modern Warfare 3. This one I enjoy a lot, actually. This is a very decent map. It's not the first Modern Warfare 3 map that I would bring back. My favorite, I think, one of my favorite all-time maps. Oh, it's so hard to pick, but I would choose Piazza. I would choose like Foundation, Sanctuary, Offshore, Decommission. Those maps are so fantastic from Modern Warfare 3, but I think they tend to stick towards the base games to remake, so that's why I think they went with Resistance. Now, we did get this in Infinite Warfare last year, and it was good then. It was actually one of the maps that brought me back because it is such a very decent map. It's a good square map. Spawns tend to rotate really well, and they felt better here in World War II than they did in Modern Warfare 3 or even Infinite Warfare, but that's a decent map altogether, so spawns aren't really that big of an issue. What is an issue or something that I noticed, however, not an issue, a good thing, is that back in Modern Warfare 3, playing on this map, playing on Resistance, I had to play Modern Warfare 3 on this map, so I'm thinking stealth bombers, EMPs, a whole cacophony of things that were out to kill me in an unfair way. In World War II, this is just simply a more refined game. And there's not a whole lot of things like death streaks or stealth bombers or EMPs that really ruin my experience, so playing on a decent map on a good game is just a fun overall experience. And this plays much more like Resistance from Modern Warfare 3 than it does Ember, I believe it was, from Infinite Warfare with the boost jumping and all of that. So basically, I don't have any extended thoughts other than it plays just like it did in Modern Warfare 3, and it's a good map. Not my first pick, not great, not over the top amazing, but good enough, and definitely not bad at all.
So happy. I'm happy. This is a fun game. Nope. I suppose rushing in the middle is not the smartest first move to make.
Valkyrie. You are going to hear a lot of things about Valkyrie. First things first, this is a lot of people's favorite map, and I think it just might be my favorite map as well, because this is just such a solid map. It's got varied lines of sight, really good close quarter combat situations. Not just good close quarter combat, it's not just like close for close. You've got a lot of strategy in there. You've got choices, you've got lines of sight, you've got flow to deal with. There are multiple routes in and out of these bunkers here, and the bunkers or outside the bunkers, there's really long lines of sight. That's good for like an AR or sniper rifle. Really interesting flow, and it's a different structure than we've had or that we've experienced here in World War II. This is a breath of fresh air. This is why I buy multiplayer DLC packs. These are absolutely this map is absolutely amazing. It's just enough to mix up the gameplay, but it's still consistent with the World War II game as a whole. Now, you are going to hear a lot of stuff from a lot of negative people about this map. They are saying that this map is just a remake of Detroit from Advanced Warfare. Now, you can see on screen right now the top-down view. That is just simply not the case. However, you do see that they might have at least somewhat of a point. These maps are both linear 3-lane maps in the form of a little zigzag diagonal direction. However, let me try to explain it this way. In Black Ops 3, each and every map had the same structure, right? It was very simple and it was very three-laned. There were 3 routes to every map, and it was very similar for all of the maps that Black Ops 3 ever put out. However, each map had a different level geometry. The geometry was different in every map. That's the case here. Valkyrie has a similar structure, a similar map structure to Detroit from Advanced Warfare, but very, very different level geometry. It plays absolutely nothing like Detroit. This is not a remake, but a lot of people say, well, if you look at Genesis or Strike Zone, from Call of Duty Ghosts and Infinite Warfare and Infinity Ward's remake or reimagining of Dome. You see, Strike Zone and Genesis have the same not only structure as Dome from Modern Warfare 3, but they have similar map geometry. They play fairly similarly. It's not exactly, it's kind of an homage each time they make it. I actually really quite like the kind of mental brain thought that it provokes, the mental question, sort of morally, and just, I don't know, it's an interesting thing, but they have similar geometry. That's the point. They all have the same geometry. You go, there's an inside area, go out to an open area, then you rotate even more, there's stairs, there's an elevation going up. This is nothing like that. This is a completely 100% unique map. Let's go, boys. I just want to see what the inside of this building is like. Oh, it's so good. So good. Okay. So I've heard this was like in the same vein as a Black Ops 2 DLC map, Frost. That is gorgeous. B's over there. What up, donuts? What was that? I'm dead, but holy crap. They're all at B. Unfortunately, none of my teammates are. In fact, I'm gonna do a little flanky poo over here and see if I can't get behind. Anthropod. This is how you do big map, Sledgehammer. This is a fantastic big map. This is a map akin much to Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 had really medium to large size maps. While they were 3-lane in structure, they had many different routes. They had many different lines of sight, many different ways to flank and to push around, move around the map intelligently. That soul, that purpose behind those maps is here in Anthropod. This is going to be the best big map that we've had in Call of Duty since Call of Duty Ghosts, I'm gonna say, because you have sniper lines of sight, obviously, across the riverbed. That riverbed is both dangerous, high risk, but you also get a high reward, and you can actually pull it off if you do it at the same time. Now, if you want a kind of smaller, close quarter combat, you know, everyone loves SMGs, shotguns here in World War II. We want to just sprint all the time like our chickens with our heads cut off. You can do that. There are buildings, there are towers, there are flank routes, there are smaller things. There's actually a secret underground area to one side of this map, and it's really, really nice. Now, Sledgehammer has this way of implementing elevation in a better way than I think any other Call of Duty developer. When any other Call of Duty developer does an elevation, it's super weird and awkward, but I didn't notice that this map had so much elevation. The C flag is probably 20-30 meters taller than the A flag, and it's just an interesting map. It flows very interestingly. Lots of good lines of sight. It's just, my first match was on Domination, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Not just because I had a quad feed right off the bat with the grenade, but just because of the fact that I could move intelligently, purposefully, and strategically. This is an amazing map pack. I've never even been back here. This is a nice map. I like this.
And we're back over here. Beautiful people. Are we going to be dirty right now? We're going to be dirty. We are so going to be dirty.
Fighter aircraft in your area. Call for a strafing run. Recon aircraft in your area. SX bombing mission ready.
Let's go, beautiful people. Let's freaking go. Oh my crap. Holy crap.
That brings me to Operation Intercept. This one is probably... I just love this. This is just so great. There are a few things that I'm interested to say about this, like all of the entire war maps, but there's just so much to learn more, with the other maps, with the regular multiplayer maps. It's basically learn the layout, learn where the lines of sight are, learn where the routes are, and there you go. You can kind of play it accordingly, and you can pick up on it really quickly. However, with Operation Intercept, or with any singular war map, knowing the layout is half the battle, because you have to know the boundaries, you have to know where the enemies like to go, you have to know the objectives, you have to know what they're trying to do, you have to know the best lines of sight to stop the objective, you have to know where the map flow, you have to know where the respawn is, and then you have to do that and repeat that for every single mission that this has to offer. And I am so excited to learn this war mission because I think it's one of the most interesting balanced war missions. This war mission starts off, I can already tell you this, very offense friendly. The offense is going to have a very easy time with the first stage as well as the second stage as well. The first stage is just releasing prisoners. One of the criticisms you'll hear from me is that all three of the prisoners are within the same room, which I think is not necessarily as compelling as they could have been. I would have much preferred to see 3 different doors that you needed to open with 3 different prisoners to release and have that be kind of the goal, because so many times now, if you're able to get the door and get one prisoner, you're probably able to get the other prisoner. So that's just a little bit of a nitpick, but I love the idea. I love the concept of releasing these prisoners. Mentally, it's really compelling, and I really do enjoy that. Now, moving on to destroying the radios and equipment, all that stuff. Again, really like it. Really like how there's so many. You always feel rewarded, and the defense always feels on edge. The music is always going off because you have that music that people do destroy things. It's like dun dun. People are destroying your stuff, and you're on edge. You're like, stop them. You got to find it. My only criticism is that I have bad teammates during this part because I always seem to be able to hold down my own part of the map. My map control is pretty decent. But my teammates, especially when it comes to the elevated stuff, the upstairs portion, teammates are not able to hold that down, and that's kind of the weak point there. I'm interested to see if this meta changes from offense to defense, but right now, these first 2 missions really heavily favored for the offense. Moving on to the tank escort mission. Lots of good defensive spots here. Lots of interesting. This is just a really simple, towards the beginning, it's not really that compelling, but once the tank gets pushed up within the train carts, it does a little S shape. It goes, it curves one way, darts the other way. I guess it's more of a zigzag. It zigzags through these train carts, which really makes these really interesting flows, because the first half, the defense has a flank route. Once you get past that zigzag, the offense has a flank route. It's really, really interesting, but I will say that defending this, super easy to do, and winning this on offense is going to take a huge feat from the offense. Now, a lot of people have been saying, and I kind of understand, these objectives are decently close to one another. Thinking back on it, I don't think they're all too close. The tank is pretty close to where you have to destroy everything, and that kind of mentally puts the defenders in a weird spot because we're used to falling back a large portion of map. But really, I didn't experience this to be that big of an issue. Now, I can understand it from the defensive perspective, maybe with the destroying the pieces of equipment and that sort of thing, because with it being a smaller map geometry to traverse as the offense, you don't have as much time to build your defenses, which is There's something to be said there, for sure. Absolutely, there's a criticism to be had there. I'm not sure they can fix this. I don't know if they can add a respawn timer for the offense within this time or whatever. But truly, I don't think that is going to be game breaking for this map. After 3 months of the same 3 war maps, this is absolutely refreshing, and I think it is going to fit in quite nicely, and let's be honest, it's not going to be that difficult to beat out Operation Neptune. A lot of you guys are going to be wondering where the zombie stuff is. I simply didn't have time today. I didn't have time with my work schedule and everything, so I think I'm going to record my first walkthrough, my first playthrough, and edit it together as a video, because I am really getting back into zombies, but also really am into multiplayer and a whole bunch of these other things. So I'm just strapped for time right now, and I apologize. I am trying to be conscientious of you beautiful zombie people here on my channel. You guys are getting Black Ops 3 Zombies 101, which is really nice. I'm super happy with that, and my goal is to get out my zombies content by the end of this week. Thank you so much for your patience. But anyway, that's all I have time for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know, what are your thoughts on DLC 1 here of World War II? This has probably been one of the best DLC 1s in recent COD history, at least for me, because this is just so great, and it might just be because I genuinely enjoy World War II. But anyway, that's all I have time for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.
Oh, let's go, donuts! Let's freaking go, boys! Oh, that was epic! Oh, this is what I love about war. How could you not love that? How could you not love that? G freaking G. First one, 50 kills, top of the leaderboard, 3rd game of war. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go, boys. Let's freaking go. That was amazing. Oh, feels so good.